Just into our newsroom about 20 minutes ago, closing arguments are now planned for Monday in Corrine Brown's corruption trial. Today, there was laughter, and she shed tears as she tried to convince a federal jury she is innocent of charges that could send her to prison for years. Her testimony and cross-examination, the most anticipated moments since her trial began. This is a courtroom sketch of the longtime Democratic politician on the witness stand. At times, she became emotional as she defended herself, her career, and her reputation. Prosecutors say Brown funneled thousands of dollars through a bogus charity to pay for a lavish lifestyle. Her attorney contends her former chief of staff was the real mastermind of a conspiracy. We have several crews in the courtroom, including legal analyst Gene Nichols. We begin our coverage with Joy. Joy.
Well, Tom, court is over now. It ended a little after 5 o'clock. The judge has asked everyone to be back in court at 9:15 tomorrow morning to continue or finish the cross-examination of Corrine Brown. When she left today, our cameras were there. Nothing. She did not say a word. Of course, a gag order being placed on all the main key players in this trial. As you said, Tom, everyone will be back Monday morning for closing arguments, jury instruction, and deliberation. Today, the jury was laser focused on Corrine Brown, and those emotions ran the gambit. When she was being questioned by her own attorney, she was up there for about 2 hours and 20 minutes total, and every emotion you can imagine is what the jury saw. Joining me now, Lindsay Gardner. She was inside the courtroom at one point. Lindsay is joining me on the other side of the federal courthouse. And Lindsay, not everybody could fit to watch the proceedings in the courtroom. There was an overflow room, and at one point, so much emotion that in that overflow room, people stood up and cheered.
Yes, Joy, as you can imagine, a lot of public interest in this trial. We saw a lot of Corrine Brown supporters in the overflow room. So as she was hitting the high points on her direct examination, or rather direct testimony, they were cheering right along with her. As you mentioned, a very spirited delivery on her behalf when she was answering questions from her attorney. But tonight, the question remains for the jury, was Corrine Brown convincing enough for them to send her home instead of federal prison? An emotional Corrine Brown was on the stand for more than 3 hours today after 8 bruising days of testimony against her by federal agents, the IRS, former friends, and well-respected community leaders. Brown cried as she told the jury about who she really blames for these crimes, her former chief of staff, Ronnie Simmons. "I love Ronnie like a son. There's a lot of young people in this community that end up in jail, a lot of them. I never would have wanted that to happen to Ronnie," she cried. "I never thought he would steal." Of the donors who lost the bulk of $800,000 in generous contributions under the guise of helping local students, Brown cried and explained, "I would never want them to think they donated money for me and it not go to what it was supposed to go for." Of the events the government argued were in excess, the golf tournament, the Beyonce concert, the Jags game, and VIP boxes. Every time you have an event, there's a cost associated with that. If it costs too much money, I wouldn't have it again. And of one door, she told jurors she had no idea it was not properly registered, giving them this warning. "I think this would be a lesson for a lot of people to make sure they have their 501c3. And on the tax charges, no hard facts or details for the juries like receipts or numbers, just leaving them with this. "I found out with this year's taxes, I need someone who's really going to take no more putting all your stuff in a shoebox." And she closed with, "If she had known Simmons was stealing, she promised, I would have fired him, and I loved him." So in that overflow room where we were, I was having a conversation with one court observer. She's been here nearly every day. And right before Corrine took the stand, Joy, she told me she is guilty. I have no doubt about it, and started rattling off all the facts in the case that the government have been trying to hound home over those last 8 days. But then, after just 1 hour of Corrine Brown's direct examination, before we took the first break there this afternoon, she then turned around to me and Jim Pickett and said, "Never mind, she didn't do it." I said, "But you were just so sure of it." And she said, "Well, I just needed to hear it from her. I could tell in her voice she didn't do it." So again, just one example to show the power that Corrine Brown can have for some people when she gives when she tells her side of the story. Again, there are 12 men and women that will have to make up their mind after listening to all the evidence in this case if they believe her. Joy?
Lindsay, thank you. And Lindsay makes a good point. Gene Nichols is with me now, a local attorney who's been giving us great insight throughout this entire trial, talking about Corrine Brown's demeanor. When she was being questioned by her attorney, she was the Corrine Brown we all know, her personality bigger than life. But that wasn't the case with cross-examination. It was like a totally different person.
And that's exactly right. Whenever you have a defendant on the stand, it is their time to tell the story on direct examination, to tell everybody and this was her chance to tell everybody what she has wanted to tell them. However, on cross-examination, it is always so important to have your client be very matter-of-fact. Only answer the questions that you have been asked. You saw her say yes, sir, no, sir, multiple times. She will continue to do that because this is not her realm. She has a lawyer who is trained to pull things out of her, so you will see tomorrow her continue to say over and over again, yes, sir, no, sir, be very matter-of-fact, be very direct. When it's her time again, maybe we'll see more of the Corrine Brown that we know.
Well, this is also something very interesting, Gene. This was Corrine Brown's chance to really sock it to Ronnie Simmons. Yes, he did this to me. Yes, he hurt me, but she didn't. And at one point, she actually said, I love him.
Well, so it's very interesting. I think we thought from the very beginning that this trial was going to be Corrine Brown versus Ronnie Simmons. Who do you want to believe? The defense did an excellent job today of not necessarily throwing Ronnie Brown under the proverbial bus, but to say, he's made mistakes, I love him, I made mistakes, but I didn't know what he was doing, and trying to not really vilify him, but just say that I made mistakes. You don't have to kill him just to find me not guilty.
Strategy, or does she really feel that way?
I think she probably feels that way. I think that's who we have known Congresswoman Brown to be for decades. So I think it's a little bit of strategy as well, and it's smart strategy.
All right, Gene Nichols, thank you so much. Sure. Appreciate the insight. We're going to hear more from Gene tonight. And if you missed any of our coverage today, join us for the 10 o'clock news tonight. We'll have a complete wrap-up of everything that has happened in federal court today, the biggest day of the trial. Tom, Mary?